for if you're going to nurse your own at some point.
I know.
That's what it feels like in a much more.
Right. I was like, I'm gonna eat my thumb off. All right, how are y'all feeling today?
Good.
Monday was nice. Get to wear sweaters. Okay, well, let's start off nice and easy today. If y'all want to sit cross-legged or have your leg out in front of you or wherever, try to get comfortable for a sec here. Just close your eyes and take a few breaths. Try to reset from all of our candy consumption this weekend. So start to pay attention to how you're breathing. If it's very chesty and a very neck tight kind of breath, try to relax through the upper part of your torso. Let that breath come from your belly. And take your arms and drape them over your knees if they're not there already, or if you're not cross-legged, you can just place them on the floor next to you. We're just trying to let the shoulders fall nice and relaxed. Okay, we're going to inhale. Let's pull the shoulders up toward the ears. So shrug the shoulders up. And then exhale, allow the shoulders to lower down. Taking an additional couple of breaths as we're relaxed. Again, breathe in. We're going to shrug the shoulders up toward the ears. And exhale, allow the shoulders to relax. One more time. Big breath in. Shrug those shoulders up toward the ears. And then exhale, allow those shoulders to relax. Drop the chin to the chest. Big breath in, bring the head to neutral, and just drop the ear from one shoulder to the other, head from one shoulder to the other. So just tipping the head side to side. And then again, when you're ready, we're going to allow the chin to drop to the chest. Moving around where you need. So if you need to turn your head a little bit and move your chin around, you can. When you're ready, you'll inhale, bring the head to neutral, and just shake the head no. So turn, moving your chin from shoulder to shoulder. Very good. Big breath in. We're going to exhale, walk the fingertips forward and fold it over. Having that lower back release. Big breath in. You can draw on up. We're gonna put our hands behind us. Plant those feet down on the mat and just swipe the knees side to side. And then when you're ready, we're gonna leave the bottoms of the feet together. Allow the knees to fall off to the side and just fold that belly button over the middle of the feet. A few more breaths. All right, let's inhale, bring it on up. We're gonna leave one foot in. Let's send the other leg out. So just making it easy. Figure 4. Okay, so starting off, we're gonna place a hand behind us. Place the opposite hand top of your thigh and a little twist. Keeping the shoulder down from the ear. Nice and easy, big breath in. We're gonna turn back toward the front and exhale, stretch those hands down. Now, if you can't do this because it's too much pressure on your hip flexor, remember, you can have your hands behind you as a little kickstand. And relax through those shoulders, relax through the back. Give it 2 more breaths. And we're gonna inhale and bring the body up. Let's take that leg that's off to the side. We're gonna bring the knee up, cross it over. Okay, and then from here, if you can, we're gonna reach our opposite side arm around the knee and go into a little twist again, but this time we're stretching through that hip. So if you've got your right leg across, you're grabbing with the left arm or vice versa. Now keeping that leg where it is, we're going to place the opposite hand behind us, put your arm on the inside of the knee, and then opening up toward the side. So we're going to get a big twist through the waist, getting the shoulders down. Good, and you can return to the front. Let's send that leg out. Bring the other leg in, so just making a figure 4 to begin with. And then opposite side arm is going to go on that thigh. We're twisting toward the rear, so it's basically the same direction you just twisted. Keeping that shoulder down from the ear. When you're ready, we'll return to the front. Big breath in. Exhale, send those hands out long. And same thing, if the hip flexor is bugging you, you can place that hand behind you so you don't tip back. And soften through those shoulder blades. Two more breaths here. Inhale, come on up. Let's take that leg that was off to the side, bring the knee up. We're going to cross it over. Opposite arm's going to wrap around, and we're doing a slight twist to the side. So we're trying to stretch into this hip. One more breath in. And exhale, we're going to take that arm, place it down, and then other arm's going to go on the inside of the knee. You can lift up that opposite butt cheek, and we're turning, twisting through the waist. Two more breaths. And we're going to turn to face front again. Get some of those legs out long. If you need to bob out the knees, you can. We're going to meet in a tabletop position. So knees are going to go underneath your hips. Hands under your shoulders. And we're going to go ahead and curl under the toes. So have your toes curled under. We're going to just saw the body forward and back. So stretching out through the feet and through the wrists and through some of those larger joints as well. You can adjust the hands or the feet. Give yourself some more space if you need it. Remember, this is a bit more free form, so you're hanging out in areas that maybe need some more attention for you to stretch out some more. And if anything is hurting you, you don't have to push yourself through that range. A couple more passes. Okay, then we're going to send the knees out wide, bring the big toes together. We're going to send it on back in extended child's pose, so really stretching those arms out in front of us. If you can lower that forehead down. Otherwise, you can keep the forearms bent and keep the head elevated. Try and relax through that low back. And as you're hanging out in this position, we're going to bring the palms together, like in a prayer position, and bend at the elbows, bringing those hands behind the head. So we're stretching out through the backs of the arms. Or you can pretend like you're a baby shark. Few more breaths. Okay, we're going to send those forearms down to the mat. Go ahead and bring the torso forward. We're going to settle the hips down. Go into a gentle back bend, so palms down, just lifting through the chest, pulling down the shoulders. And we'll take a few deep breaths. Or if you deep yawns are fine. Bring those shoulders down. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So you can either downward puppy where you're sitting on the mat, or you can plant those balls of your feet down, lift those hips up and press them back. Try to sink through the heels. Big stretch through the back of the legs. Give it 3 deep breaths. And take your time. We're going to walk the feet forward, walk the hands back. And we're going to very gradually start to lift the body up. So you can bring the hands up toward the knees. Take a few breaths while you're at that halfway point. And then send the knees forward, hips forward. And you can come up the rest of the way. Very good. All right. Inhale, bringing those hands up overhead. The breath in, we're going to exhale, leaning off to the side. Again, breathing in through the center. Exhale to the other side. Good. Again, breathing in through the center. Exhale over. You can drop one arm down, stretching down the leg. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale over to the side, dropping that arm down. Very good. We're going to lower that hand. Okay, so we're going to bring the palms together at the chest for a moment. So pressing those palms in, lifting through the sternum. You can lower those elbows. Take a few deep breaths. We're going to adjust the feet slightly. So try to make sure your heels are as wide as your shoulders. You can let those toes turn out a little bit in a position that's comfortable for the hips. And we're trying to feel where the body weight is. So if you're too far forward on your toes, allow yourself to kind of move back a little bit, recenter between the ball of your foot and your heel. Kind of lifting through the arches of the feet. Let those knees stay nice and soft. A big breath in. We're going to exhale, send the hips back slightly, bend through the knees. We're going to squat the elbows down toward the knees as low as you can handle. Take a big breath in. And then we'll exhale, come on up. Now if that didn't feel quite comfortable, you can readjust the feet, readjust the hips. Again, big breath in. We're going to exhale, keep the chest lifted into the palms and the hips back. Squat those elbows down. Try to keep that outward pressure on the knees. Inhale. Exhale on the way back up. Mind over matter. We're going to do one more. So once again, adjust where needed. Try to keep those knees pointing toward your toes. Big breath in. Exhale, dropping those elbows down as low as you can get them. Keeping that chest lifted. Big breath in. Exhale, lift the chest. Bring the body up. Awesome. You can lower those hands. We're going to move back toward the wall just for a little balance pose. You'll probably need it to not fall on your head. Okay, so we're going to go into a half lotus. So probably want your back facing the wall. One foot is going to come in, and we're starting off with just trying to gain our balance with a figure four. So if it needs to start lower with that foot toward the ground. And remember, a few things you can do to stop yourself from falling is number one, you can stare at a spot on the floor. Spread the toes of your floor foot. Bend your root leg slightly. You can also have a lifting sensation through your hips rather than sitting here passively. Actively lifting can sometimes help. We're going to take this bent knee, cross it over the leg that we're standing on. And if this is as far up as your foot goes, just leave it there. If you want to bring it up further, you'd be moving it up into your hip crease. If you have the space, you're going to press your hips back and lean forward slightly, going into a stretch into that hip. Two more breaths. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, bring it up. Let's lower that leg down. We're going to start with the other leg. So same thing, we're making that figure four. Make sure that this leg is prepared to support you. So toes are spread, knee is slightly bent, hip is lifted just a little bit. We've got our eyes staring at one spot on the floor. You can cross that leg over. And then we're pulling that foot up toward the hip crease if you have the space. If your knee's going to let you go that far. Okay, last step from here is pressing the hips back, leaning forward slightly. A few more breaths. Then when you're ready, you can stand on up. We'll lower that leg down. We're going to walk back to the mat. Give yourself a second. Okay, we'll be going into downward facing dog. So first thing, we're just going to soften through the knees. Allow the hips to go back. You can stretch the hands down toward the floor. Take your time. Just relaxing through the upper back. Now in a moment, we're going to meet in downward dog. So if you want to go ahead and walk the fingertips forward, you can. When you're ready, that's where we'll be. Hands going forward. Trying to stretch through those feet, through those ankles. Two more breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to lower the knees toward the mat. And from here, we're going to be in our last restful position. So you can either go all the way down onto your belly, or you can turn over onto your back. Just close those eyes, and we'll rest for these last 2 minutes. And stay here for one minute if you'd like. As you decide you're done for today, you can stretch out and sit on up when you're done. All right, everybody feeling?
You're still here.
We're still here. Okay, great.
Good stretch.